Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Vangore podcast. I'm your host, Justin Hayward. With me today are our three podcast mates of Andy, Patrick, and his brother, Zach. That's Andy's.
My brother, not his.
Yeah. Surprise. As we play in episode 3 of the War for the Vangore. We're going to start off the episode as we do every week with a quick recap. Remember to check us out every Tuesday on our Twitch channel at Resources a Gathering at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and check out our other Twitch stream at 10 p.m. on Wednesdays Eastern Standard Time, and it is the Monster Manual, a Pokemon-inspired campaign. On that note, we will go into a quick recap.
And be sure to share with your friends, it always helps.
Yeah, we're trying to become famous. Help us out. Woo.
Well, you might be.
Hey, you'll be famous cast members, all right? Get autographs.
When do I get on Critical Role?
When do I become the next DM?
Matt Mercer, hello.
Travis Willingham, I see you. Yeah.
If you'd like the recipe for crispy spaghetti, you can find it on my blog at www.idon'tcook.com.
Last time on the War for Vangore, our party had made it into the city of Vangore, where they had decided to go on their first mission, assigned to them by Xander Legacy. He had told them to essentially go after a group of cultists known as the Cult of the Water Worshippers. Upon their last interaction, they were able to stop at a bar and kind of decide who they were and how they were going to move forward, finding out about some intelligence along the way, as well as some interesting food options. And that is where we're going to be starting tonight's episode of War for the Vangore. So you guys are leaving the bar, and you guys are currently still in the squabbles. The sun is going down. It's getting real low, big fellas. What would you guys like to do with that knowledge?
Wasn't there a church that was nearby?
That's what I was thinking.
There is. So those small children that you guys had talked to before talked about a group known as the Holy Symbol, a sort of like church area within this region.
So I was thinking, at the end of last session, I was thinking we should probably go to the Church of the Holy Symbol.
Isn't that something we're trying to find?
We're trying to find the cult of the water.
Yeah, but I think the church would probably be opposed to them and might have... Yeah. The church would probably be opposed to the cult and would have like maybe some info on them, is I think what we were thinking.
Sure. What was the
or at least...
Oh, sorry. What was the name of the water
Cult of the Water Worshippers.
I forgot every single time I tried to say it last game and I said water drinkers.
Yeah.
There is the cult of the water drinking, the cult of the hydro homies.
Yes.
They're addicted to water. They need it every day. It's so funny. Like,
yeah,
stop drinking water.
It's almost like that's like normal for like any being that.
Bro, I'm not addicted to water. Oh yeah, you drink 8 glasses a day at least.
My character drinks like straight. No, I don't want to make him out.
So the guy we'd actually heard about was Brogoff.
Yes. Yeah,
you heard about from Big Mike?
Oh, it was Big Tony.
Big Tony.
And Big Tony. I have it written down. Yes, it was was that the Drow?
Yeah,
yes,
the ex guard that joined the cult.
Yes.
So that's probably our first lead right there.
Did you say ex Drow?
He used to be a Drow.
No, so he used to be a member of the City Watch, and he was a drow known as Brogoff.
Or according to my notes, he's a shifter, apparently.
No. I don't know what notes you have, but that's not what I have. All right, so you guys are going to be looking for the Holy Symbol.
Yes.
Okay. So do a perception check for me.
Okay. Oh. I know that's +6 since we've already...
Well, I'm off to a good start.
Crud. Very good start. 25.
4.
I'm off to an incredible start with a 2. No,
also
7 actually.
So, looking around, Patrick, what's your character's name again? I'm sorry.
Bertrand. Bert.
Yeah, Bert.
So we have
Bert
Charleston,
the Birdman.
Charleston, Bert, and Law.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
That's our law
Bert
firm.
the Birdman.
Sorry, we're on episode 3, and I'm running 2 campaigns. People at home, it's a lot.
This is that's our law firm of Charleston, Bertrand, and Law.
All right, so Bert, you managed to see a symbol on a sort of a makeshift wooden placard.
Question: is it holy?
Can I describe it?
Sure.
Thanks. Appreciate that. And so it looks as if it is a angelic symbol in some sort of Asimarian language, and you imagine it is the holy symbol.
Is it? What is it written in? Do we know? Or
Is it something that's celestial-ish?
Yes, it's celestial.
Okay.
I speak celestial.
I do, actually.
Okay, you do it because I don't.
Is there any text or stuff like that on it?
Yes, it just says one with the people, one with the Lord.
I don't speak celestial.
You speak catboy.
No,
Well,
I speak Draconic.
I say to the both of them, well, that sure... I did see... My God, if I can word this properly. If you look in that direction, there is a Azamar-inspired symbol. It reads holy, basically.
That sounds like the right place.
Might be a good direction. Is that where you guys want to go? And I'll just.
I mean,
point to whatever
that's the plan,
direction
yeah.
the symbol is. Okay.
Let's go
Yeah,
there.
so the symbol is right outside of a makeshift sort of almost like a old school tent, as it looks like there's still not even a full structure here within the squabbles, and you see a couple of small children walking in and out. One of them is the child that you guys recognize who's begging for money, and he looks at you guys and he goes, "Oh hey, how's it going?"
Well, we found ourselves something very holy. Do you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, this is the holy symbol. This is the people I told you about.
Yeah.
There's you can talk to the head mistress. She's actually inside. And he goes on to describe her
Okay.
as she is a Decon, known as Gloria, and she is an Asimar woman. So you're going to be looking for Decon Gloria.
Okay. I'm going to say, well, you seem to know best what's inside of this structure. Can you lead us to her, possibly?
Yeah, I actually got business elsewhere, and he kind of fucks off.
Okay. Well,
I don't trust that kid further than I can throw him, which is a pretty moderate distance, but still.
I mean, he's a kid who steals stuff for a living.
I mean, I am not a kid, but I steal stuff for a living. So
It makes sense.
I want to cautiously enter.
Yeah, so as you kind of
walk in.
Man.
walk in, you see a bunch of small children. You see some people sick on beds, and then you see a beautiful godly looking woman in the distance in holy robes with sort of angelic white hair and fair skin, as she sort of just glows in this sort of setting under the dark lamplight.
You walk in and are surrounded by orphans and the sickly. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
The youngling Slayer 9000 suddenly appears in your head.
How did you know what I named my swords?
I'm not going to say this, or try not to say this loudly, but I'm going to ask some of the children that are walking by, hey, is the person with the very light skin tone and light hair a person named Gloria by chance?
Yeah, that's her, right up there. Miss Gloria, and she kind of turns around from you see that she was casting some sort of healing spell on one of the sickly people. It looks like they have multiple contusions and sort of lacerations against their body, as if they were attacked by something recently.
Oh, Jesus.
As she's
It's still dark out, right?
It's the sun's going down. Yeah, well, no, it's pitch black.
No, it's pitch black.
Yes.
I've got my hood up.
Yeah,
So-
so she, yes, it's currently pitch black, as she's currently healing someone who looks clearly like they've been attacked recently, and she's like, "Can I help you?"
Yes, I heard this was a place called the Holy Symbol, maybe?
Or your organization is called the Holy
Or your organization is called the Holy Symbol?
Yes, I would say that we are the Holy Symbol. I am the Daikon, the leader of this organization. My name is Gloria.
It is nice to meet you. The name is Bertrand, but you can call me Bert. Do you mind if we ask you about something that's been going on in this town?
And she kind of looks at you and she notices the relics that you seem to share of holy symbols. And she looks at you and goes, "A brother in the faith is always welcome here in the Holy Symbol, as are his compatriots."
I thank you then. We are looking into, I say this part kind of quietly, something called the Cult of Water Worshippers, and a man by the name of Bergoth. He used to be a part of the City Watch.
Are we able to talk somewhere a little more private for a few minutes? Just we only ask for a couple of minutes of your time.
She's currently she says, "If you give me a couple of moments to finish healing this man, so he doesn't completely bleed out on my table."
Yes.
Would you like me to help you?
I think she has it.
If you'd like, yes.
I'll go over there and help.
Very well. We'll wait off to the side for a few minutes.
Instead of utilizing a spell slot for this, I'm going to have you roll a medicine check.
Parker.
Because I don't want you to waste spell slots
I figured.
for something along this lines. I mean, you can, but
Yeah.
as your DM, I'm going to strongly advise not doing that.
I won't.
Save your spell slots for us.
That's 10. I know.
Yes,
That's
so
why.
with you kind of basically applying basic first aid and sort of stuffing the wound with fresh fabric and applying pressure, you're able to stabilize this person while she finishes healing the large lacerations. Do a investigation check for me since you're so close to him.
Sure. This isn't going to be too good. Oh, God. What is that? Oh, 1. Flat 1.
So you have no idea how this happened or what did this, but a beast, unhuman or unknown to you, seems to have torn into this poor person.
Can I do an investigation check if I'm standing near?
Yeah, if you're hanging about looking over the shoulder, I could say that you'd be able to do an investigation check. You can as well.
I'm standing off to the side, but I guess I'll just
One.
for the sake of knowing what attacked this guy.
You seemed real. You know what? You are really distracted.
He got a 2.
Okay.
We record another night. My luck seems to be not good tonight.
So both of you guys, I'm going to say that your instinctive male urges seem to take over, as this is the most beautiful woman you've ever seen. Literally a godly woman.
Bro, I'm literally a cat.
Yes.
I just don't. I guess my explanation is I just don't give enough of a shit.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you got distracted looking at the kids who are trying to collect money.
He's looking at kids.
No.
Wow.
Not like that. All right.
Hey, the DM said it, not me.
He's trying to steal from him. He's like, I'm gonna steal back from him.
He's gonna steal from the homeless people.
He would.
So-
I believe it.
But
Actually, that's strictly out of my. That's
yeah,
outside strictly against my character's moral code.
exactly. So you guys finish healing this person, and his eyes kind of go white, and he reaches out to you with one hand, and he looks at you and says, "Don't let him get me. Don't let him get me. Please, save me, please. Oh."
I say, please, just rest. Stay calm. You need to relax. You've been mortally injured. Please.
And as you say that, you see that Gloria sort of raises her hand slightly, and just the smallest spray of a magical spell seems to release into his nostrils as he falls into a trance-like sleep.
Sweet. Alrighty.
As she casted sleep on him. And after she finishes up, she kind of wipes her hands clean with a prestidigitation, and she's just like, "All right, I'll take you guys back to my private quarters. We'll have a conversation quickly but quietly." And she, again, this is all just basically like giant tents. So you guys are in the main sort of hall, this one large room. You see one other sort of holy knight in the holy symbol armor, sort of posting up, watching the front gate, like the front area. And then as you guys move into the back area, you pass another sleeping area, which seems to be the majority of these holy knights' sleeping area. And there's only like 4 or 5 cots. Only 2 of them have people sleeping on them. As you can imagine, other people are sort of roaming the grounds. And last behind that is a larger area where she sort of pushes past into a more secure tent, which seems to be her room. Lamplight flickers as a single lantern is sort of lit. And you can see several books of different holy texts, and under the sort of dim lighting, you can kind of feel the ambience that this is clearly like a study for medicine as well as sort of her sleeping quarters.
One other, I know this is kind of slightly off topic, but does the inside of this place seem bigger than it was on the outside?
No.
Okay.
So are we've all gone to her tent area?
Yes. Yeah, no. So this is what you see is what you get sort of thing. This is essentially just a large tent. Nothing more than a large tent in the middle of town.
I'm going to look around to make sure there's like nobody around within like clear earshot of the tent.
How are you mean from the inside? Because you guys are inside the tent.
Well, as we're walking up, I'm like going to look around to see if there's anyone in like...
This is all within the same tent. It's just like connected.
Okay. Are there people around her area?
Inside of her area, no, but the closest people would be the guards, probably just maybe 15, 20 feet. Again, this is not a large area.
Okay. So I was just wondering if there's anyone like right next to it.
No. It's...
Okay, because I don't want to be overheard.
It's, again, the most amount of privacy you're going to get inside of this structure, which is about 10 feet.
Right. Okay. So we follow her back to her area?
Yep, so she kind of sits at a sort of makeshift desk, and she kind of leans back. You can see all of the stress of the day sort of wearing on her as she, like, relaxes for just a small second.
Is there anywhere to sit?
No.
Okay.
And then she sort of goes, "How may I help you?"
Well, now that we have a moment alone to talk, we have, for reasons I can't really elaborate on, we are looking for the Cult of the Water Worshippers. And you being an area frequented by, well, many people, and people tend to talk, we believe it's quite possible that you may have overheard some information that may be pertinent to our endeavors.
So I've heard of this group.
Oh, I haven't introduced myself. My name is Charlie.
Charlie?
Bertrand.
Law. I forgot my name for a second.
Oh, that wasn't just I didn't want to tell you. It's what the fuck was my name again?
I thought you were just building suspense, man. Like, you could have just said nothing.
Law.
Law. I am the law.
All right, so she goes on to say, well, nice. And that's Salem, the love of my life, who's also a proud member of this campaign.
The DM's familiar.
She is the DM's familiar, and she will always be a part of every campaign I play in at my house. Because, well, she lives here, so she gets to be.
Oh, Jesus.
You don't. And if we leave her outside, she'll get mad.
Yeah, no, she'll just make more noise. It's better. It's better this way. Anyways, so let me fix this since Salem's a brat. All right, so I've heard of this group you speak of. They're known for capturing people, and up until recently have done a pretty terrible job of not being suspicious about their actions. They were operating near the dock ward.
So we've heard, yes.
Capturing people by ship and then taking them off somewhere. But suddenly they went silent about a few weeks ago. And people haven't been able to track their movements any longer.
Does the
Did anything significant change that you would have heard of? Or?
So the only thing I know is that the City Watch has been after them. And they gave me a note, and I will give the same note to you, which is, if you have any information, the City Watch are currently looking for their members. But of course, their members are wearing masks and are hard to identify. So any information you collect will be greatly appreciated and will be paid handsomely by the City Watch.
There is also one other thing kind of related to both. Or maybe related. But there was a person by the name of Brogoth, I think. A Drow City Watch ex-member. Do you believe he has anything to do with the cult?
Well, I've only been here 200-300 years, and so my time here is a little bit less than most. But what I imagine is that this drow once operated here, and very much could have been upset with the order, as it were. The city is run by the government, but as you may not know, is secretly run by others, thus creating a dilemma for those who work for the City Watch looking to create actual justice within it. But
We've heard an inkling of the sort, yeah. We're relatively new to the area.
Yes.
One thing I should ask before we move too far off the topic. Do you have any description of what the masks they wear look like? It would make it easier to identify them.
I do not.
Okay.
All they had informed me was that they were masked beings, and those patrons that I find with masks on within either here looking for aid or etc. may be known associates. Thus, given my title as a healer of the people, I tend to take in strays, as it were.
Well, I doubt they're the only group that wears masks.
Yeah, like I said, I have no idea what their masks look like. That might be something you'd have to find elsewhere. But I do assure you, if you do need help within the city's walls, I and my people will do our best to help you.
Okay.
We know the corruption and evils within the city, and we are trying to make a change.
Do you happen to know when they last striked, I suppose, when they went to kidnap someone, possibly?
It's hard to say. People go missing every day. From wild animal attacks, from kidnappers, robbers, bandits. There's really no way to tell, and the people who suffer the most are the people who live here in the squabbles, which is why my people ensure that these children have the best chance by at least allowing them to make it to adulthood.
Well, I don't see of anything else we could ask about.
I think that's really all we needed to know. Thank you.
For all the help you've given us, I'm gonna give over just 2 gold pieces to her and say, thank you so much for helping us today. May grace be with
Do
you.
you accept donations?
I do not personally take donations, but
I mean
if you're looking to help the organization and the people that we support, absolutely, gold is always a profitable option for us to be able to move out of this temporary shelter into something a little bit more stable and a little bit easier to fortify, which is hard to do in the squabbles with little to no income.
I don't have much to give, but I'm gonna flick 2 gold.
She takes it as well. Thank you.
Consider it a tithe.
All right. Well, on that note, if you are done, I have much business to attend to. Please
Thank you for your time.
head back out and let the Lord of Light be with you.
And may you be graced as well.
And as you sort of head out, again, seeing the 2 guards who are still sleeping in their same location, and you see a lot of the children have now taken rest inside of the main area, sort of huddled together, even without beds,
Yeah.
sort of just sleeping on the ground. in sort of a little pile as you see two other guards sort of just kind of watching over them.
Do you two feel like going out in the dark again, especially with the creatures we saw?
I would not advise it, but I only saw one, and there are 3 of us here.
I assume,
Yeah.
I assume they probably wouldn't mind if we just like laid down our bedrolls and stayed here for the night.
No, I'm good. I think we should head out.
Okay. So you're the deciding vote.
Bertrand is actually going to take out a coin, and I'll do evens, we go out, odds, we go in.
Yep.
Or stay in. And we stay in.
Okay, can I intimidate them?
You can try.
All right. Should I persuade or intimidate? You guys.
Persuade, I would say.
Persuade would be.
Okay, hear me out. You also can persuade them with your actual voice.
Like, oh well.
Just.
Well, they just decided.
Well, so what reason do we have? Like,
What reason
That's the
would
plan
be
right
that?
now.
my guy's a warlock, and this is like the god of light, and my patron is a literal like fiendish, like evil.
I mean, did you burst into flames when you walked in here?
No, but I feel like he probably won't like that if I stay here. Like, does
So-
that make sense?
The difference between a warlock and a cleric is, unlike a cleric whose deeds and things, if not in line with their patron,
Yeah.
are not correct, bad things can happen. You've already sacrificed for your deal, so essentially nothing bad's going to happen unless you don't complete the deal that you've already
Alright.
created with your deity.
With you,
I just
yeah.
don't want to stay either. I don't know. So can I roll for persuasion?
Yeah, you can or
I'd say roll persuasion.
Or we can just RP persuasion.
yeah, I was gonna say I'm just gonna make you RP it. If you can't convince your friends after you guys have already
Alright.
determined, then I don't think it's gonna work out.
The reason I want to do it is because I want to actually see what is out there. Because we could ask all we want, and by the way, we never really did. Did we? Didn't I don't think we really asked.
Well, I mean, to be fair-
specifically
What that.
To be fair, you're the
So far, so
charisma guy in the group, and
Yes, you
didn't
are.
ask any questions.
Yeah. Well, you guys.
I'm
were asking
moderately
all the- I thought you guys
charismatic.
were gonna ask it, and then it
Ask
never
what?
Came up. Like
What the
happened.
creature was
Yeah.
and what happened.
I originally thought you guys were gonna ask. And I'm like,
What were you gonna? Well, why didn't you ask?
I don't know. I just thought it was gonna happen earlier, and then I didn't. And then I lost because I lost the question because we started talking about other stuff. We started talking about the cult.
You could have asked it on the way out.
No, I forgot. Like in real life.
Well,
I
tough.
I want to go out and see what it is because we already saw one.
All right.
Whatever it was. I also picked something that gives me sight in darkness more than you guys,
Yep.
so I can see in the darkness.
So-
All 3 of us can see in the dark.
Correction. I recommended it too, and you're like, "Yeah, I'll take that."
So, anyways, so explain to me how you're going to convince your friends, and they have to be in agreement with this.
So
RP out what law would say.
okay, I have to think about it.
It's tough.
So you guys already voted. So were you saying that in game that they like flipped a coin, or no?
I'll say Bertrand flipped one of his gold coins and said,
All right.
So
Well,
Charlie's
I
reasoning
suppose
is
we can stay in.
Charlie's reasoning is that we don't know our way around this area. We don't know where safe spots are. We've just gotten to this city literally today, and we saw a dude that got mauled by something that we don't know what it is. And the thing is, we also saw stuff creeping in the dark. So I'd rather not go out into a city that is pitch black, full of creatures that I don't know what they are, to wander the streets that I'm unfamiliar with, and not have any safe areas that I know of aside from here. Aside from here to go to.
Yeah, no, Law just wants to go out. Okay, so I'm gonna say to them, unlike you two, I'm not actually afraid of much, so I actually want to see what's going on instead of just wasting time, you know? At least go a little further and then stay close to here, you know?
I mean, if you want to do some scouting from here, we probably should try to avoid, luring anything back here. But
I mean, I'm just talking about finding what's going on. You two are talking about sleeping.
well, it is night.
It is night.
Isn't it technically 3 p.m.?
So technically, you guys spent a lot of time inside that bar.
Is it like 9 p.m.? What is
So it's like 10 p.m. But
That's not
but it's pitch black here like 18 hours a day.
Yeah. So it's not like the worst thing ever. But
Yeah.
it's not like 1 a.m. But
No.
okay. I'm gonna be like, do I know what time it is?
Well, it's technically black here for 12 hours exactly, and it's pitch black and then pure light.
Yeah.
So I think if we want to compromise here, I think what we do is we do stay the night here, but we go out and spend a little time scouting just to like see what's what, and then if we need to bail, come back here or fight off whatever we need to and come back here.
I was about to say,
That's what I was saying
Bertrand
anyway.
would be like, I can enjoy resting, but I feel as if we're capable people to face what's out there. Especially with the support of those that are in my faith.
I mean, we could look around and see what key locations there are around here, and then come back
Yeah.
and spend the night here.
So are you in agreement that we're going out?
Yes.
I think it wouldn't hurt to go out for a bit,
Okay.
but we should eventually come in and spend the night because I don't want to stay out all night.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's not
In
what I
like
was saying.
pitch black darkness.
That's not. Yeah.
All right, so as you guys sort of make your way outside of the tent, who doesn't have dark vision amongst you?
I have dark
We all
vision.
do.
All three
We
do.
do.
Okay, so
You're an owl, right? You're technically an owl man. Yeah,
all
I'm a cat. So
So, as you guys head outside, your eyes begin to adjust quickly, more quickly than normal people would, to the flash of light into the pitch black. And you guys are able to see the general city landscape. Again, it's pretty barren out here, as most people tend to avoid the dark hours of the night.
Yeah. Plus, even if we can't see, I got light.
one thing I should say is that his thing allows him to see through magical darkness as well.
And 120 feet.
Yeah, I know what you have. I got you.
So,
It's broken.
Well, I had to take it over.
I mean, what else does he get as a warlock?
Eldritch Blast.
You get Eldritch Blast, and a couple of cool abilities.
I mean, yeah. Anyway.
I mean, you don't need anything else. It's just Eldritch Blast.
Just Eldritch Blast.
Hey, some of those invocations are pretty sick.
Yeah, but-
gets pumped by.
But when in doubt, Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Spear. Hey, I have Eldritch Blast, about 300 feet range.
Anyways, so looking around, you guys are still currently in the squabbles. You guys are in the closer to the southern section of the squabbles. You guys can hear the ocean current pulling to and fro as you're sort of on the inner cordon of the city, which is inside of the sort of bay, the Vangore Bay, which is this large sort of beachless area that actually is right against like the water.
So the water just kind of comes up out of the rocks, and the
Yeah.
rocks are like where the city is.
Essentially, they created a sort of seawall, a bunch of rocks that they sort of stacked up, and they created a that it pushes up against, so it'll actually serve as like a barrier.
Kind of like those big stone, almost caltrop looking things that you see piled up on like the shoreline, like urban shorelines.
That's exactly what.
Yeah,
but
not shaped like that.
yeah, just medieval.
big rocks.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So that's the inner docking of this city has that.
Yeah.
So you guys are right up against it, so you can physically hear the water pushing and pulling up against it.
All right. Can we enter the city from here?
So you guys are in the city, but
yeah.
So you're in a so the city is divided into subsections. So you guys are currently within the squabbles. Right next to the squabbles, the direction you guys came from, which was the dock ward. And then if you want to head more further in, then you could find more options.
How far out is the dock ward from where we are?
Roughly walking. Are you asking like walking distance?
Walking distance, yeah.
Like probably like 30, 40 minutes walking.
Oh, okay, so it'd take us like almost an hour to get to the dock ward and almost an hour to get back.
Essentially, yeah.
I'd rather not do that walk in the dark.
Yeah.
It's not the worst.
Well,
I mean, I say we.
I can also
I say
cast
we,
light.
I say we stick. Well, that would draw attention. I say we stick to the area that we're in. See if we can identify like places, like inns or whatever that we could duck into if we need to, or like shops, or like
Or
just.
we could just or.
Well, because I mean, if we're being chased by something, I want to have a place to bail to, so we're not.
Given that you
attacked by something.
saw the squabbles during the day,
Yeah.
you know that there's very limited like physical structures within this
Yeah.
portion. There's like a lot of ruins of buildings, like decayed buildings. There's the tavern that you guys were already in.
Yeah.
The hotel and then sort of a lot of these pop-up tent-like structures that people are living in, or like abandoned buildings.
Okay. So I'm going to note the locations of the inn, the hotel, or the hotel, the tavern, and just like the Holy Symbol tent.
Okay.
Just so we know, like, just so like if we need to quickly flee to a safe place where we'd have at least extra sword hands.
Yeah. Like I said, the majority of the squabbles is barren. It's an absolute desolate wasteland.
Hear me out.
Just like a bug out location,
We
pretty
could
much.
get more done if we were to go to, was it the dock?
The dock ward?
Ward. We could figure out possibly more stuff, because there could be buildings over there where we could talk to people.
This is true. So what do we want to do? Do we want to scout out this area or scout out the surrounding area we're in a little more, or do we want to try to make our way to the dock ward? I say current area, but I'm not opposed to going to the dock ward.
The dock ward brings our main suspect, but our current area also has creatures that we could.
Well, the thing about the dock ward is that the dock. We don't want to take too long on this, by the way. The dock ward is where they would actually be. Like if they were, and like a lot of these groups, I'm assuming would do a lot of their work and stuff in the dark.
I think
they're not going to do it during the day.
You also got information from Gloria, if you guys want to recall of any of that information.
We could also go talk to the watch.
Well, she discussed information, and then you guys have received information. So if you guys review your notes of information you guys have received, you can look at that as potential evidence.
So I do recall being told that if we want a clue, we'd go to the shore, which means that we should probably head that. That's probably the direction we want to head.
I'm down.
The shore.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Let's go there.
Okay, so you're heading towards where?
Do we head towards the waterfront, just the waterfront in general, or do we head towards the docks?
We should head towards the docks first.
I say we head to the waterfront and then make our way around to the dock. Like you could head to the waterfront and then it loops around to the docks, right, or something like that.
Yeah, so it essentially curves the inside, and once you get into the dock ward, you know that it goes. The dock ward itself is an extension of the city, and so it's essentially an entire like pier almost sitting on the water. That the rest of this sort of this is where like when you guys were going through like the fishing district and like the main port and everything was. So
yeah. I say we head to the waterfront first and then make our way from there to the docks.
All right, yeah, let's do that.
Because I'm assuming the streets along the water is going to be a little more open.
Yeah, so the physical water would be more open. Yeah, there's.
We also like if we got attacked by anything, we would just dive in the water.
You could, yeah.
So,
okay, right. So again, you guys feel as you guys move in closer, you can smell the distinct scent of the ocean and the constant pull and push.
As we're moving, I'm going to be like 50 feet ahead of these guys, just kind of trying to scout out anything ahead of us in stealth.
Sure. So you guys sort of pull and push against the edge of the water. You guys sort of pushing yourself up against it. There is a narrow path that leads directly towards the dock ward as you sort of make your way that way.
Would you like me to roll stealth while I'm ahead? I'm trying to move stealthily.
Yes.
That's going to be 19 plus. Let me pull up my thing. 19 plus. That's going to be a 25.
You feel as though you're super stealthy.
Yeah. I am the shadows.
Yep. So you're stealthily moving. How are you guys moving then if he's going to be moving stealthily?
Normal.
Normal.
I'm just walking.
Okay.
I'll have light cast on. Actually, no.
Don't cast light.
I'm going to have my slingshot out just to tag anything that like if anything leaps out at me.
You have a
Just,
slingshot?
yes.
You can get a crossbow?
No, I have a bow.
Oh, okay.
I just have a slingshot for like quicker firing.
I guess, yeah.
All right. So as you guys manage to
Also like less lethal because I'm more of a thief than a killer.
So as you guys are maneuvering your way towards the dock ward, you guys manage to eventually make it there. It takes roughly 30, 40 minutes. You don't really see anything on your path. It just seems, again, it's desolate. The squabbles themselves are just, again, you just see sort of the outer linings with your your sort of grayscale eyes, the outer linings of the structural system of different decaying buildings. You hear like whines of pain from people like screaming from hunger pains, or people who are drinking themselves into comas, or whatever they're doing to basically like make it through the desolation of their people within this region. As you sort of make your way finally into your first sort of light, as you see the flickering of the lanterns of the dock ward, as you see suddenly you would feel before you see, you're shifting from a sort of soft ground to the feel of the wooden structure starting to form under your feet. You would literally feel it before it squeaks.
Yeah.
And knowing that you had reached the dock ward. So you're still currently 50 feet in front of them. So would you keep moving forward, or would you like to wait?
I'm gonna survey the area quickly.
Sure.
That's going to be a 18.
Yeah, so surveying the area, you notice there are a couple of guards, like the city watch, sort of monitoring the water. You see that there's a couple of boats off in the far off distance.
Yeah.
It's roughly about a mile to the physical, like the actual main port that you guys came off of. And there's a couple of boats that are sort of stationed there for the night. And then you kind of can smell the scent of fish, as the dock ward is consistently smelling of the fishing market, which is currently in that area. There's like fishing stables and stuff that you guys passed on your way, as well as a couple of inns and taverns, which look to be open. Unlike in the squabbles that close early, this seems to be a more open area.
Okay. I'm gonna hold position and wait for these two.
Yep. So you guys sort of just casually make your way there.
Can I do a perception check for any of those creatures that I've noticed before?
Sure.
Can we all do perception?
Yeah, you both can do perception check. You're both.
I'd also like to add that my character has like a small pouch of stones.
You stole both my
just for his
D20s.
sling.
Okay.
Or a slingshot. Because
Yes,
it's actually
did.
like a slingshot, not a sling. Gotcha.
Thank you.
So a little more compact.
14.
10. Couldn't really remember.
So you don't see any signs of whatever had attacked the gentleman, or whatever had attacked anything, really. You don't really know what that monster was or what that creature was. You have no idea. You don't really see any signs of it, and whatever signs there were, they're probably not in this direction, is what you can determine.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
This seems like a little more populated area.
Yep.
So
Instead of the rundown squabbles.
it's also more. There's also more guards and thus more danger. So anything that has that's gonna try to remain unnoticed is probably not gonna come this direction, because there's light and people and sound and stuff. So
Yeah. All right. So
Just meet back up, I suppose.
yeah, so you guys all three managed to make your mark right at the edge of the dock ward. And as you do, a sort of orcish member of the city watch kind of walks up. He goes, "What three are you doing out here in the middle of the night?
coming to the docks.
What for?
Well, this is where the open taverns are.
Oh, you fancy yourself a drink, do you?
I do.
All right, well, shit, drink one for me too."
Will do. Have a good night.
Yep, and then he kind of like continues like on his like movement through the dark.
I instinctively, when speaking with a guard, put on a different voice than my actual character's voice.
It's fair, whatever you want to do, man.
Well, I'm a character's a thief, so
Yeah. All right, so are you guys gonna head over to the inn?
I say we head to one of the open taverns.
Yes.
Yep.
So the tavern is known as the Fish Folk. It's a sort of locally owned tavern. It's managed by as you guys sort of like walk up to it, you can smell like cooking seafood as it's like a hibachi grills going on inside.
Do they sell crispy spaghetti here?
No,
Damn.
not crispy spaghetti.
Sorry, Law. Can't get any yet.
No, this is like a hibachi grill place.
Okay.
Like they're crushing.
Dude, 24-hour hibachi grill? Nice.
Yeah.
Or, well, maybe not 24-hour, but late night hibachi grill. We should
Yeah.
have those around here.
And you notice a lot of like the orcs, like the orcish fishermen are here, as well as like a lot of patrons are all kind of sitting here and they're all clapping as there's some sort of performance going on the stage.
Yep.
And then there you see a sort of elvish girl doing a dance in seductive clothing, as you get the hint that this is kind of a mixed field of places.
Well,
Well, I mean, it is open late, so.
I think I'd just rather, I don't know, like go sit down at a quiet table that's away from everything.
I'm gonna go to the bar. I'm gonna remove my hood and go sit at the bar.
Okay, yeah, you managed to take a seat at the bar. Do a perception check for an empty table.
I stashed my slingshot before the guard approached us.
Okay.
22.
So, managing to quickly find an empty table near the back, you take a seat and you can smell like the distinct scent of seafood as you look as though a lot of the food that wasn't sold by the fishermen is all being chopped up and sort of served like on this open spigot fire that they have.
This was on the floor over here, by the way.
Okay.
That was one of the things that I had.
I
And
didn't know what it was.
I don't know either.
so yeah, he's just chopping it up and like serving up like there's different like bowls of like hot rice served with this like seafood gourmet special, and then
I'm assuming it's pretty fresh because it's like right there.
There.
yeah, it's like what didn't sell during the day.
I'm gonna kind of. Oh wait, sorry.
So he walks towards a nearby table. What would you like to do?
I'm actually gonna do something a little odd. I'm going to cast
Anything
Disguise
diff-
Self.
Something
I
odd.
I have it as a. I get to cast it at will because I have a mask of many faces.
So are you casting it before you walk inside? Where are you casting it?
They both walk off. I cast it.
in the bar
so
or
they
outside
don't
the
see
bar?
me.
Outside the
I'm
bar.
not.
in the
I'm
bar.
casting it inside the bar.
You're casting it inside the bar?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm gonna cast it before we go in the bar.
Okay, where are you gonna cast it at?
So they walk through the door. I'm right at the door, and I'm gonna cast it. And then,
Okay.
what's near this bar?
So near the bar is an inn known as East Inn.
Okay.
It's so it's East and then INN. So it's the East Inn. And then there's a lot of the marketplace, which is like closed up for the day. Everything on that inn's all been closed up, but these are like the only two real major facilities that are still open at this hour. There's also a bunch of like smaller like shops, like a general store and stuff, but again, already closed up.
All right. Can I go into? I'm gonna go to the inn
Okay.
and talk to whoever's if there's like somebody out at the front.
Yeah, so you walk in, and then there is a dwarvish woman who's kind of just sitting there, and she's like, "Hello, welcome to the East Inn. How may I help you?"
I need some information.
Information? On what?
A little new around here, coming around. Got a couple things I need to do. I don't know much about this place, and there's a bunch of dangerous little things going on at night. Can you tell me what's happening?
Love, you're asking a lot of questions and not a lot of money in front of me.
Ah, shit. Let they spend like as the
Translation: She wants a bribe.
least. Can I persuade her with my good look and charm?
You can try to persuade her with persuasion check. Yes.
Right. Come on.
That's a 1.
Fuck. It's a 1.
So as you go to talk to her, a guard walks up from behind you, and he kind of claps you on your shoulder because you cast Disguise Self, looking like what?
I was gonna cast a disguise self just as a different human.
Yeah, so he claps his shoulder on you and he goes, "Sorry about this mess, but this one's decided to do a little sneaky and put on a different face before he walked in here. Thought it was a little bit suspicious. Thought I'd check on him real quick. You want to switch back to your real face so I know who you are and you can identify yourself."
Can I cast disguise self to switch to a different face? That's not my own.
So you've already cast Disguise Self.
Oh yeah, so it wouldn't.
You'd have to use another spell slot,
Wait, no, this is from.
It's his invocation.
which is so you won't be able to use it again.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Eldritch Blast. I'm kidding. That would
Eldritch
not.
Blast
That
your
would
problems
not
away.
go very well.
So this is where timing and explanations are really important, Zach.
So I'm gonna
That's why I had us go into the back room to talk to that woman.
I'm gonna take off the disguise self. Well, I rolled a nat 1. It's not exactly my fault.
No, it is entirely your fault.
And then I'm gonna be like, "Hey, buddy, listen." It wasn't anything.
All right, so convince. You need to explain who you are to the guards so that way you don't end up in jail tonight.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give you a persuasion roll.
All right.
And I'm going to have you do it with disadvantage. But what you tell me, using your own words,
All right.
to convince me, your DM, that what you're saying can change the fact, and I'll give you a high or low.
Do you want me to? Oh, I see.
If you roll low,
Do you want to roll now?
yeah, you're gonna roll with disadvantage first.
All right.
Well, that's a 3.
A 3.
Yep, roll again.
Bro, I know how I would talk my way out of this, but yeah.
A 9.
So a 3.
So a 3 plus your modifier.
Am I doing persuasion?
Yes.
So 5.
Okay, so that's an 8. Okay, so let's see first. So, okay. So, explain to me, your DM, how you would get out of this situation, and I will give you a second chance, as it were, to get yourself out of this and not end up in jail tonight.
All right. Can I ad lib?
You should. Yeah,
Not ad lib. I meant to say, can I explain the situation instead of doing the voice?
yeah, just go for it.
He's just gonna pretty much explain that he is new in town and doesn't like to have and doesn't want to cause a lot of attention because he's working for a company from a different place, a different part of the world, and he doesn't want to be seen in this area because he's rich. Because he's very rich, and yeah, he's popular in other places in the world, and he's trying to get here because he's rich and he works for. Oh, that's just fucking stupid. He's not rich. He just doesn't want to be seen because he's. Shut up! I don't make good stories up.
I'm just sitting over here I have a very simple way to argue out of this, but it's not my character, so I can't.
And you're not with him. So, okay, so think about your character. How would your character get out of this situation? What's a good way to explain your situation? You could just be honest. If that's your character could just be honest about the situation.
He's pretty much just gonna say that he doesn't like to. I didn't want to cause a big scene because I don't want a lot of people to know me. He just doesn't want a lot of people to know who he is.
Okay, I will give you a 50-50 shot,
All right.
and then I will explain to you what happens. So, high or low?
High. Actually, yeah.
Okay. So you say that you're a famous person, yeah, and that you have a whole bunch of money, and that you don't want people to know who you are?
Hey, yep.
All right, I'm gonna put it to you this way, and he looks at her and goes, "I'm gonna take 10 gold pieces, and you're gonna give her 2, and I'm gonna walk away, and whatever conversation you have after this point will be whatever it's gonna be."
All right, I do that.
And he walks away and says, "Thanks for doing business with your local city card." And he walks away.
Do I have 20 now? I have 7 gold now.
You said you were rich.
I'm rich in spirit.
So I literally would have just said, I'm very self-conscious and I cope for it by, or I compensate for it by disguising myself as other people.
Yeah, I don't know. That just sounds sketchy.
That's just really,
That does sound sketchy.
That's even
I was
worse.
gonna say,
What you said was probably your best bet. It happens.
I was expecting to literally roll a 1 because the was high.
Who knows? It might have happened anyway.
Maybe. But anyways, so what? All right. What do you want to know, love? What questions you have?
Did I just okay? I'll just ask
Yes.
you again. I'll ask you again. So basically, what's going on at night with these monsters?
You gotta be a little bit more specific, honey. There's all sorts of monsters out here.
Okay. What's chewing up people over in the slums over there?
Well, that could be fucking anything, really. It could be fucking wild dogs, wild wolves. They got all sorts of shit. Fuck, we have bats fly down from the sky to start eating people. Like, we don't fucking know.
The dwarvish woman just changed your accent too.
Yeah.
It's just Tony.
No, the hard. Okay, so for me, I could do accents all day, but the hard part is I can't
Consistency.
I can't stick with them consistently whenever I'm switching from one to another all day. It's hard.
Like, are you making fun of me?
No, that's my only issue with doing accents is I'm not consistent enough because I have too many voices in my head. Okay,
right.
but I'm not crazy.
A famous voice actor that you can picture being a dwarf, whether it's from like a certain famous.
I'm trying not to do the typical Irish one, which is is my go-to for
Well, you
dwarves.
can do that, or you can
have a
just
lot.
picture someone who acts like what a dwarf would be: angry, pissed off, stubborn.
I know, but I also get
I have a lot of voices in my head, but none of them are consistent.
Yes,
They're all
I did say that on the air.
And they're all screaming.
Anyways, so
There's a lot.
all right, look, all I'm gonna say is there's monsters, they're crazy, they eat people, and the squabbles is a place I would actively avoid. That place is like a fucking human lunchbox, and
Oh,
everyone has a little piece. If you go, what I'm saying,
I wonder if they have apple slices.
human now.
Alrighty. Can you give me like a little bit of a list of things that are even out there? Or are you just gonna keep saying random things?
you
Like,
could tell her the scars that was left on someone.
there was so basically I saw a dude in one of the religious places over there. He has giant gashes. Can I just like describe what I saw? 'Cause I
Yeah.
don't know.
So she goes on to say, well, with stuff like that, it's tends to be wolves. Wolves come out. They roam the city. It's weird. They come from so the city is separated into different subsections that are gated off. These are the different wards essentially.
Yeah.
Here,
And the central ward is capsulated off. And this is going to be where like the business district, your shopping district, trade districts, stuff like that, as well as like the inner castle ward, all sectioned off by these internal gates. But the sort of outer ward itself, which runs everything else, doesn't have this layer of protection. And so these wolves will come from like the forest ward, which is like on towards like the left side of like the city, like far, far away.
Yeah.
And they just run through this place and fucking eat people like no other. And there's just wild wolf packs that will just eat people.
Oh damn.
And
Jesus.
so and then there's obviously like bats and stuff that'll fly down and start chomping on people too. So she really doesn't know what type of creature it was, but her best bet is probably the wolves.
Okay.
Because that describes like some sort of monster or creature that preys on people.
Yeah.
All right. So after that, I want to go outside.
And she does look at you and goes, well, I will give you one last thing. And she pulls out a city map and she hands it to you.
I'll take it.
And it's not really super specific, but it does give you a basic overlay of the city. And it describes the city is broken up into multiple subsections, which someone should write down so that way you guys know the different subsections. I can also describe it again on the map.
All right.
But
Hit me with them.
so you have the dock ward, which is where you guys are currently at. Then you have it's sort of the outer ward, which consists of different subsections. And then there's the central ward, which is another subsection. And then there's the castle ward. And those are like the the main segments. There's a lot of subsections within that.
Yep.
But those are the main segments
So
of
dock, outer, central, and castle.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And as you head outside, you head into the bar with your friends, I'm assuming?
Oh, I was actually gonna peek around into the alleys and see like what I can see, because I can see like.
Yeah. Do a perception check for me.
One other thing, Juan.
I want to roll it. Sorry.
You can roll that there. It's just.
Well, I want to roll it in here because I feel like I'll be luckier. 10.
Okay. What were you saying?
I wanted to, I guess not sit down at an empty table. I'll go and sit with him at the bar and just quietly, like, wonder what in the world would be responsible for a cult doing things like kidnapping people, or why they would be kidnapping people.
That's kind of general cult behavior, to be honest.
I know, but, like, what's going on within the, the squabbles that's so special.
I'm trying to, while I'm sitting at the bar, I order an ale, and I'm trying to pick out, using my heightened sense of hearing, I'm trying to pick out conversations from around me to see if I can glean any information from anyone.
Perception check.
I have advantage on, I think I have advantage because of Tabaxi.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say. I'm not certain, though.
D&D Beyond will tell you.
We
don't
for that.
we don't support D&D Beyond. We're not funded by them, but I do support them full-heartedly for all of your friendly DMs and players who are too lazy to do math.
Yep.
Get D&D Beyond. Saves you math. Hashtag communications major for a reason.
I will admit they are good for that. I like to handle a lot of my stuff.
I don't like math.
I should do stuff for free if I can.
Yep. All right. So, anyways,
I haven't finished the roll yet.
Cool. So you're contemplating that conversation, and the bartender sort of, like a young, like halfling girl, sort of slaps you on the shoulder and goes, "Do you want a drink or something?"
Oh, sorry about that. I'll just take a water. Thank you, though.
And she looks over at her other female bartender. So this one has more of like darker brown hair, and there's another halfling girl with like blonde hair, and she's like, "Oh my God, he said a water?" And she's like, "Oh my God, a water." And she goes and grabs a water, and she's like, "Yes, bestie." And they like clap, and then she goes back to her normal voice, and she's like, "Anyways, here's your water."
I kind of laugh. I don't laugh, but I'm just like, well, thank you.
No, I just have proficiency, not advantage.
So what'd you get?
12.
So hearing about you don't really hear anything super crazy. You do hear someone talking about like the dock ward fishermen sort of sitting at a table. They kind of talk about they keep hearing of people going missing. That's pretty common here.
Can I overhear anything of like where?
Kind of all over. I mean, on the dock, they're mainly talking about the dock ward.
Okay.
And he kind of goes on to says, something, but something sticks out in this bit of conversation as you're like tightly listening in, and you hear of a second pier.
Second pier.
Where shady folk tend to buy and sell illegal supplies, called the Dockyard. And that is where we'll be ending tonight's episode of The War for the Vangore. Thanks for watching.